Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everybody. We're already on episode 9 of season 4, Brave Volunteers. So let's get to it. So the episode starts out with Armin telling somebody a story. We don't see who he's talking to, but he's talking about events that had happened 3 years before. So this whole episode is just flashbacks of 3 years prior of what events had happened on Paradise. So we first see the Marleyan fleet going to Paradise, and already one of the fleets have already disappeared, and they have a rude awakening of Aaron just picking up their ship. And I totally had Kruger vibes of when he had done that, when he had the Attack Titan. And then we get Hanji. Hanji is just hilarious how she's welcoming them. And she has Nicolo, which were introduced to him as a new character, which he was from the first fleet. They had captured him. And he's like, kill me, don't be taken by these devils. And so that Marleyan officer is like, yeah, heck no, I'm not, surrendering to devils. So he's about to shoot Hanji, and he gets shot in the head. And we're also introduced to Yelena, who is, we saw her in the last episode, but we get more in depth of her character. But she shoots him in the head, and she's like, hey, Hanji, I will take up that tea offer that you've given. So we then get the meeting in the tents with Levi and all the Paradise crew, and then with the Marleyans, and they are called anti-Marleyan volunteers. That's what it was. And they're just pretty much updating the Paradise crew about all the technology that Marley has. That they have these guns, which Hanji's looking at this guns like, what is this? And she's trying to she's so excited with this technology that he's like, don't make us look weak, trying to calm down, simmer down. And she loves it. And then oh my gosh, Yokopan, I can't pronounce his name, but I love it. I love him. He's so cool. And it's like, it's perfect timing for Black History Month. I'm like, he's such a cool character. I wish there was more representation of African Americans in anime, but I love him. He kind of reminds me of John Boyega from Star Wars. It's kind of resemblance. But he's saying that, we have the airplanes pretty much. And she's like, what in the sky? So she's just so excited. Hanji, I love her so much. But yeah, so they're updating all of them, and then Hanji's like, wait, hey, but you guys are so advanced compared to us, because Paradise has been just in their old school ways since don't know what's going around in the outside world since they were trapped into the walls, so they're way behind. But she's like, why didn't you guys attack us before? You guys had all this technology, and you guys could have attacked us. And Yelena was just like, well, this is there's two reasons. It's because you guys had the mindless titans outside the walls, and we couldn't just go there and attack, because they kept you guys in, but at the same time help keep people out at the same time. And the second reason was because that Marley was also in war with other nations, because the other nations had gotten a wind that Marley had lost the Colossal Titan and the Female Titan, so that they knew that Marley wasn't as powerful before. So that's when other nations started to come up, and so Marley kind of had other problems. So they just didn't, they didn't bother at the time. It wasn't first priority. Yelena also had mentioned just trust us, because we were forced to be with these Marleyans, to do their dirty work. We were taken from our places, and we're pretty much, as captives as well, just forced to do this stuff. We're, and then we want to be free. And it's just sad, because you see the expression on Yokopan's face, and it's, yeah, you could tell that they've been through a lot, and they're just as prisoners, as Paradise is within the walls. And yeah, as we saw, the Marleyans use all the Eldians to do all their dirty work. They send them all to war, where the Marleyans are just kind of chilling. Some of them, unlike the Panzer unit who are Marleyans, but yeah, they just they're using the Eldians as weapons and as mindless titans as well. So then it's explained of Zeke's plan that he has these anti-Marleyan volunteers helping him out because he needs to unite with Eren, because he has royal blood and Eren has the Founding Titan. So in order to control the Founding Titan, they both need to touch. So they need this plan to happen in order to threaten the world of the Rumbling. And it's taken back to now Hanji's trying to explain this plan to the government of Paradise in this court. And they're just like, hell no. How are we gonna trust these people after what it all's happened? And in a way, it's like, I don't blame them. This is a huge jump to do, and a lot of, to trust him like that. So, Hanji's trying to propose this and, trying to convince him, and they're like, nope. Then Aaron, he's explaining, like, no, I can account for this. Like, I remember back when I touched Dina, and Dina, which is Zeke's mom, when she was the Smiling Titan, I touched her the moment I touch her because she has royal blood. I was able to control these mindless titans. So he's confirming, yes. And there's like, what the hell? Why? You knew this the whole time and you didn't say anything? Like, what the hell? So he's like, no, I did it because I wanted to protect Historia, from anything. Because it looks like because Historia also has royal blood, he wasn't sure exactly. He thought that maybe he would have to eat her. So he wanted to protect her because it was just very unknown. So at the time, so that's why he didn't say anything. So, yeah, and they're just like, we need to kill all these Marleyans, that we have captured. And Hanji's like, no, we need them. We need them in order for this plan to work. So then it's shown that there are more fleets coming to Paradise to attack. So all these fleets just keep disappearing. And Yelena's like working with Paradise, and he's like, yes, you guys, Marleyan guys, just come on in. We're here. We're ready. And, they're taking the bait. So she's helping them out. So that's why they need these Marleyan volunteers. So when that Marleyan fleet comes in, that's when Armin turns into the Colossal Titan. And they're like, we're not fighting this. So they give up, and they're taken in as hostages. I honestly prefer Bert's Colossal Titan design rather than Armin's. I think it's weird that he doesn't have a nose, but that's just me. Also, Armin didn't ask to become the Colossal Titan, so it was out of his hands. But yeah, I do prefer Bert's. And then we're just taken into Sasha talking to Yokopan and Hanji. And it's funny because she's like, Sasha's to him, why is your skin that color, pretty much? Why are you black? And his explanation was cute. He's like, you know what? Well, the creator had wanted to create different types of people, and he just, created us different. And yeah, that was cute. We're then introduced again to Nicolo. He was that Marleyan that was captured at the beginning of the episode, the first one. And it's explained that he's a chef. He has all his food prepared. And Yelena's like, hope you guys never had seafood, because there were Sasha, Connie, and John right there. And forget it, you're taking Sasha into a place with all this food. And she's just like, Nicolo's like, oh, you don't have to try my food. She just eats that lobster without peeling it and goes crazy. And John and Connie's like, hey, say some from us. And she's like, Nicolo, you're a genius. And I don't think he's ever really got compliments a lot. I don't know, but he just blushes. And I think there's obviously feelings eventually will be there. You see that he did, after time, there's kind of goes to a flashback into the future, or the past and then to the present time. And that's when we see Nikasa's at the grave and someone's getting beat up, and it's Nicolo. And it's just crazy because I feel so bad. These these guys who are prisoners in Marley are treated like shit by the Marleyans, and now they're in Paradise with the people, and then they're being treated like shit again. So it's like, it sucks. So this LDN guy from Paradise is beating the crap out of him, saying all this horrible stuff, and John and Connie goes there and stops that guy from beating poor Nicolo up, and Nicolo's just dressed up, and is to go pay respects to Sasha, and he can't believe it, and you just see the pain in this man's eyes. You could tell that he cared for her. And if I recall, I think they did cut out from the manga more depth of what Nicolo felt for her. That, because of her, this was one of the only things that would stop me from thinking of this horrible damn war. And she was something that took my mind off that. So there was definitely, I feel, that more depth of his relationship with her, even if it was one-sided. But he truly did care for her. And just was so sad. Like, Connie, how do you feel like this? And Connie mostly explains, like, I loved her like a twin. So I felt always like Connie and Sasha had more of a sibling relationship rather than like a romantic one. I know a lot of people ship them, but I felt them more as like brother and sister. And it seems like that Connie confirmed that he loved Sasha as more like a sister, that they were always together, jointed. But yeah, so poor Nicolo. And then we get Sasha's family going to the grave, And, they're just heartbroken. And, Nicolo's like, your daughter, please, can I, I'm a Marleyan prisoner, but can I do something for you guys? Can I cook for you guys? She loved food. So he proposes this offer, and like, yeah. And the dad's like, oh, it's on the house, right? Is it free? And he's like, yeah. So that was cute that Nicolo got to meet her parents. We then go back to 3 years, and we see Aaron, Armin, and Mikasa at the shooting range. And Armin just like, we've come such a long way. How these Marleyans used at the beginning, they came with us with such distrust and hate. But little by little, like, I feel like I see that, there's more of a trust relationship and respect. And they show, like, from the beginning that their Marleyans are like, to, like, Hanji and them. And then little by little, they're showing Hanji all this stuff. And then that they're happy and excited that she's happy. So you see that this relationship, there's more, they're kind of getting to know each other, that they're not devils, like horrible people, that these paradise people are treating them better than, back home. And so Armin always wants to be the person that wants to talk first. And we've seen that in the past. He always wanted to talk to Bert first, rather than fighting. And, Mikasa is going along with Armin too. It's like, yes, like, Aaron, like, don't you see? Like, just we need more time to work with them. We can convince people that we're not these devils. And Aaron's just disregarding. It's like, you really think we got the time for that? These people, no matter what, they're gonna always have this hate, not just them, but the rest of the world. We don't got time for this. If we wait, then we're gonna be killed. And so you see that throughout this, it's between Armin and Mikasa later on. It's just like, had we waited, like, we would have been killed. Had we not attacked, they would have, regardless of all the lives that we killed, they would have killed us back in paradise, had we waited. So it's just like this confliction, but you can tell that they're more wanting to go the peaceful route, rather Aaron's like, we don't got time for this, we gotta fight. And so I love the conversation between Zeke and Levi. Oh my gosh, there was so much sarcasm. Those two conversations just hilarious. You can tell just Levi's just waiting to kill Zeke. He's like, I'm just waiting. It just says this plan, and if you're faking this all, then it's just, man. So it's just kind of like, do you trust Zeke? It's still unknown. Like, seriously, after all that he did, there's times that I just remember back, like, I know it was all, supposedly he's faking it because he has to look real for the Marleyans, that he's betraying them, but there was times that he did stuff that he looked like he had fun of. So to me still, it's like, can you trust Zeke? Like, what's the whole, So I don't blame that, that Levi has this trust for him after he killed Erwin, and he promised Erwin that he would kill him, the Monkey Titan. So there's still a lot of distrust between them both, and it shows also in Pixis. Yelena, just lays out all this Titan serum, and then Pixis has his guards surround her and her, the anti-Marleyan crew, and with guns, saying that he's like, I'm sorry, but there's still a lot of stuff we don't trust about you guys. And Lena's like, well, hopefully one day you guys can trust us, like, like that. She's like, what's up? Why are you doing this? And Pixis is not too happy about it, but there's still a lot of distrust. We then get Zeke and Levi, and Zeke's like, well, where's my fancy hotel at that you said you're gonna bring me? And Levi brings him into this wooded area. Zeke knows why. He knows that his Titan can't work that well in that type of area, and there's a lot of trees for the 3D maneuver gear to be used. So he knows that there's other people in the forest in there, and they're gonna be watching him. So everybody's just very on edge, and I don't blame them, from all the past that had happened. But yeah, so then we get also finally Armin. He's revealed that he's talking to Annie, which people are like, whoa. I remember in the manga it was so crazy because we got chapters and chapters of chapters with no Annie for the longest time. It was so painful, and finally when we saw this, we're like, oh my gosh, finally. So he's talking to her, and he's just telling her, like, I don't know if I know Aaron anymore, the way he's changed so much, and he's not the same person that I once knew. And you can see that he's, heartbroken, especially like, that's just all that's changing is the way of his demeanor and everything. And he also, understands of what Annie and, Reiner and Bertolt went through the day that they had to attack the walls, so he has more understanding with them. And he's like, Annie, please talk. So I think because he does have some of Bert's emotions, or I don't know, there's something with Bert that he has connection, because not he has the Colossal Titan, that he understands more. And even Aaron's like, have you seen anything useful in Bert's memories? And Armin's like, no. So maybe there's something that he's not saying, but he does have more of a connection now with them of what they went through that day. And so then, yep, we get the surprise of Annie right there. But all right, guys, have a great Sunday. Going for the Buccaneers, because they haven't won in a long time. Tom Brady's is back in again. I get, you just can't, you have to admit it. He's good. People will hate him, but he's freaking good. So I hope they win. And all right, guys, just leave a like. It helps my small channel so much. And a comment if you liked it, what you disliked about it.